Richard will explain.
Yep, so we started with our little quality of movement exercise. So you guys are just thinking about all the things we talked about last week. You've got something that you can do is lift that hand off, because followers should be thinking of the shoulder going back into that hand rather than this shoulder going back. If the shoulder goes back, she'll open her body up when you haven't asked for it, and that can hurt.
So we touched on in class tonight that on the normal side, you're often looking for that connection through your left rib cage, but on this side, it's instinctive to do that, so you're prone to opening out on that side. So on this side, you need to really push back into his wrist to feel that connection.
And we need a reasonable pressure on his hand. Probably you find you want more rather than less until you tune in. So we did the same thing. We just did steps, triples and rock steps on alternate hand footwork. The content of the class, so we did flip-flops, which gives us a rock step on the wrong side. This is just a nice beginner move. And then we do back together, triple in front, turn, turn, turn. And we can do as many steps as we like until we're ready to triple down the line. When we're doing those steps, you want to be aware that your feet are zippered in the opposite position. And as you're doing the turning, you want to try to be framed up to each other, especially for follows, all of the stuff we just talked about, so that when you're stepping around that common pivot point between these two feet here, rather than opening follows bodies out.
Getting dragged around.
Yeah, that feels very uncomfortable and it can hurt your wrist.
Hurts the lead's wrist.
So with that in mind, so we were doing some of these. We're doing some of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back down the line, and then we do swing outs. 1, 2, triple in front, open her out. 1, 2, we did open to open, da 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 da, and we did closed, da da, back to closed. You'll find that just like with the normal circle, you've got to come into that nice armchair position. So if you're leading if you bring her in from open to a circle, you'll bring her into this sort of position that your arm hits. You want to try to hit that same position with this arm. And then again, I feel that little pressure here and pressure out, and I sort of swing around that arm like it's a bit of a bar almost. We then changed it up a little bit. Oh, before we do that, we'll do the reverse jerk. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and from a different angle. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then we had sushi roll. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
So for the sushi roll, you really want to, on your last triple, it's going to feel unnatural and weird, but you want to continue that momentum going backwards and until you create that bind ready for the next lead, which is what you normally do on the other side. But what I found when we were teaching ourselves this was a tendency to kind of have stake here, which means you, of course, can't really.
I moved back to try to create the tension almost automatically. Yeah. And then we switched it back to the normal side, just to show you that if you do a reverse circle on the normal side, you can use the same type of technique of bringing her across your body and then zippering the feet this way, which means that the reverse circle is a lot more comfortable. So you'll be going 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6 down the line. And you're following her body down that line. And that was it, that was the class.
Thanks for coming to the special series, and we'll probably see you next year.